All right, hello everyone. We can begin. All right, so just a quick introduction. We're going to talk about our own personal experiences from the education concentration. And I'm sure you're all here because you've wondered what it's like to be a teacher or you're interested in being a teacher. So hopefully we can share some experiences that is beyond what we expect, like through textbooks, marking. What else is beyond, well, just classroom lectures? So a bit about myself. My name is Clement. My kids call me Mr. Clement. And I graduated in class of 2024. And I followed through with the English major and the education concentration. So a bit about myself is that I am a full-time English teacher at St. Hilary's Primary School, specifically in Mongkok campus. And with that, I teach key stages 1 and 2. So that is primary 1 to primary 6. And with that, one funny thing is that when I went into teaching, I didn't expect to be facing so many questions. My kids are unrelentingly curious. Every single day, I can hear my name from everywhere in the room, and it's endearing, but it can also be very frustrating at times. And with that, it comes with experience and also with great patience. And a motto that I really like to live by is that one of my favorite movies as a kid was Tarzan. And this is from Phil Collins, the singer and songwriter. He, in a song, said, "In learning, you will teach, and in teaching, you will learn." And throughout the process, as I was teaching kids different concepts of grammar, vocabulary, I'm also learning about different ways to teach, as well as being a more patient and more considerate and thoughtful teacher. And a way that I can describe teaching would be, it's kind of like knitting or like crocheting a plushie. You have to learn a completely new skill, and you're making something from scratch, from needles and a thread. And with that, you need to learn different patterns and different orders and how to make your own creation. And with this learning a new skill, you're making something from scratch. You're meeting new kids every year. You're meeting new kids with different abilities every year. And this is challenging, but it's also very rewarding at the same time. So, as you can see, these are some of my kids. And this was in grade 3. And as I was learning, like crocheting or knitting, I learned different classroom management strategies, or I learned different ways to scaffold material to make sure that kids can understand complex materials through step-by-step learning. And also with the end goal of creating knowledge within these kids, so hopefully they can actually attain and use and apply in their future studies. An example would be right here. This is one of our CCA fairs, our cross-cultural fair, where we have kids in different grades, different classes. They learn about the history and the culture of different places. And fortunately, we got Hong Kong last year. And we learned not only about the culture, but also the history, the culture of dim sum, herbal tea shops, Kowloon City, all those fun things. And everything that you see right there are made by kids bit by bit over the course of, I want to say, a couple months of process, where they use recycled materials to build different buildings in Hong Kong. They built a Ferris wheel out of straws. They built the HSBC Tower with popsicle sticks. And also with that stand, we also used cardboard to make that. And the kids were able to sell a very cultural snack, tong chong bang. And another example right here is that for one of our English projects, our project-based learning, we had to learn about SEO trot from Roald Dahl. So we took apart the book bit by bit, where we learned about the different sections, the introduction, and we made very beautiful projects, and we made them and glued them into a big book report. So the kids were able to understand different concepts. They're very intelligent, but I think their capacity is quite little since they're young, right? So with this type of scaffolding, the kids can actually accumulate knowledge as well as applying these different knowledge together, finding a great connection. But honestly, teaching wasn't really easy in my opinion, because with teaching, I have to think about, for example, just now, like SEN students, or what kind of strategies work best for kids, because you can't just make a kid and sit in the school at their desk for hours upon hours. So we as teachers, we have to think about different strategies, how to combat their any misbehavior, and what worked and what didn't. It's essentially a big trial and error, in my opinion. And overall, with this journey, I didn't really start with teaching. When I came to the school, I was in 2020, and I just was a lost university student, right, English kid. But then when this opportunity arose where, oh my goodness, it aligned with my courses, I could get an internship experience. Like, this was a great opportunity, and it pushed me to take my first steps in my career. And as I completed my internship, I actually reconnected with my old internship school, the same school, where they actually offered me another intern experience, but with my PGCE this time. And that, I just finished my PGCE, and now I'm full-time teaching at the same school. So my last thing I want to say is that with this, this concentration is like a ripple, where as the ripple grows and turns into a wave, it has great impact, and it made me realize that it's a career that I want to take. And it brought me to where I am. So the last advice that I would like to give is that it doesn't hurt to give a shot, right? It's a good experience, and it's a great chance for any future teachers. So now I'll pass the time to Stephanie.
So hi, I'm Steffi, and I graduated in 2024, and I majored in English with the education concentration. So currently, I'm working as an English teacher in secondary school, and I'm a class teacher of Form 3. I teach Form 2, 3, and 5 English. So some of you may question about that. Why did I choose to work as a teacher? So I think it's because of my teachers, especially my English teachers. They aroused my interest in learning English. They cared about our learning process. Thus, I always consider being a teacher as quite meaningful. And internship helped me to see if I could do this job. And some of you may be curious about our duties. Teaching is our priority, so we need to prepare our class, such as the materials or topics. And as a class teacher, we are required to deal with the class affairs during the home period. And on the other hand, we belong to different school clubs or committees, so we have to organize different activities or school events for our students. And the hardest part, I think, is collecting the homework from my students. I guess most of us don't like homework, same as those students. So they might forget to do homework or hand in. You have to collect the homework consistently and every day. But I still have some enjoyable moments during these 2 years. I think having good colleagues is hard, just like you can have good group mates during these 4 years. And moreover, although those students are not really good at English, they're still sweet and nice. They gave some gifts before, like Christmas or Chinese New Year. So I have some words to all of you. I think being a teacher, you have to accept the abilities of students at different levels. They are very unique, so they have different pace in learning. You have to be patient and maybe accept they learn very slow, but you can't blame them why they learn so slow. So I think this is our responsibility. Then I pass it to Ron.
Testing. Okay, so it's my part of presentation. So, okay, I am a classmate of them, so we shared the same background. But sadly, I don't have a first class honors. I'm sorry. But you can take a look. I got a girlfriend. So I see myself as the most successful speaker here. Okay, so some of the background about myself. Yes. So I'm currently an English teacher in St. Peter's Secondary School, and this is my second year of teaching. So I've been a class teacher of Form 2 for the second year. And I can tell you, secondary 2 students are the most challenging ones. Okay, there will be a a picture showing how difficult it is to be a secondary 2 class teacher. But, some more information about me. I'm currently teaching Form 1 and 2 Form 3 English, and I'm studying PGDE. And this year is my first year of attaining the PGDE. So, in case you got some questions on PGDE, we can talk about it after my sharing. Oh, there should be an animation, but never mind. We should ask step by step. Okay, the first question would be, okay, who do you think you are? Use some adjectives to describe yourself. Let me pick someone who are attentive, like I do in class. Hi. Okay, how do you describe yourself? Use one adjective. Smart?
No.
Okay.
Hardworking.
Hardworking, that's great. That's a quality for being a teacher. Okay, may I have a round of applause to this student? Okay, some more. Okay, how do you describe yourself? Yes.
I'll say a little bit shy.
You'll be shy. Do you think you can be a good teacher then?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, another round of applause, please. Okay, there is a volunteer here, so yes. How do you describe yourself?
Sometimes can be a good listener or energetic.
You're energetic. The kids would like you then. Okay. So, after understanding ourselves, so what kind of teacher do you want to become? There are different kinds of teachers, and we have demonstrated different teaching styles today. Like Clement, he has great English proficiency, which is something that I'm not capable of. So, I don't have a first class honor. Okay, Steffi would be a boring teacher, but I'm sure your students and colleagues would love you, right? Say yes, say yes. Okay, so my last question is that, oh yes, I can assure you this is going to be an advertisement. Why? Because I'm going to persuade you to become an English teacher. Okay, so why do you want to be an English teacher? Let me ask someone. Michelle, you have been keep asking me questions during your class, so I'm going to ask you. So why do you want to be a teacher?
Just because I like the subject that I teach, that's the reason.
I hate English. I hate her subjects. Okay, any more? Let me see. Why do you want to be a teacher? Hi. Do you want to be a teacher?
I think so.
So why? Why do you want to be a teacher?
High salary.
High salary. That's really attractive. But other than salary, what do we really do? So, okay, I'm going to share my story and give you the answer at the end of my presentation. So, okay, when I was in secondary school, I know I am very energetic over energetic. So I know I can't stay on my table for like 6 hours, 8 hours a day. So being a clerk is never a choice. And after studying in Shue Yan for 4 years, I don't want to write any more essays. So compared to the previous 2 speakers, I would submit my assignment the latest. And I would prefer not submitting my essay if possible. So I love group work. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I think I'm suitable. I'm not suitable for other jobs. So teacher is my only target. Secondly, have you ever heard of the quote, life influences life? I think it is a pleasure to witness a kid to grow from a monkey to someone looking at his phone. So I have chosen to be a teacher, and I applied for my schools, and luckily they have taken me as an English teacher. Okay, so it's time to talk about what we are going to do as a teacher. So this is one of the things we need to do, being interactive in our class. So we are going to use Mentimeters. Okay. 我唔記得咗開，可唔可以幫我開 Google 啊？跟住然後咧就開個 Mentimeters，MENTI。Oh, sorry. 開翻個。等我嚟。唔該。Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to log in, so I got to. Okay, thank you. Is it possible to freeze? Okay. Wow. Share. Present. 其實我都冇乜嘢睇。Become a staircase for student. What do you mean by a staircase? So they can step on me, right? Okay, educate people. Yes, sleep. Great. I love to sleep and I need to sleep. Inspire students. Be a candle so I can burn myself. Okay, handsome. You're describing me, not teachers generally. Okay. Actually, I have something to share. One thing that I learned from being a teacher is not how to teach. It's not how to comfort a student. It's about, I've done a quotation. There's an event, and we need to invite some of the organizations to come. So we need to do some administrative work, which is, I think none of you would have expected that as a duty for our teacher. So I other than teaching, and markings, we have so much administrative work to do. Do you agree? Right? Or is that just me being overworked by my school? Okay, so these are one thing that you may not expect to learn as a teacher. And then we can go back to the PowerPoint, or we are going to overrun. Okay. So, talking about, I'm going to share a true story from me. So, this is me, obviously. This photo was taken in 8th of October last year, which is my first lesson inspection. So, it was smooth all the way until the last 5 minutes. Okay, it's time to show the learning outcome. So, I have asked one of the best students in my class it was about a writing task. So I've asked her, can you read out what you have written?
No.
And the vice principal is over there looking at me. And my panel head is over there. What would you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I mean, in that situation, I'll pretend they wrote out something and read it out for them, you know?
Great point. But I don't need it. Why? Because there was a hand over there. From my naughtiest student, he raised his hand and he said, I can answer it. I was like, and I look at my vice principal. Damn. But I passed my mic to him. And he's read out the sentence that he wrote with his poor proficiency English. But surprisingly, the vice principal is laughing as well. So, I think, what is fun to be a teacher is there are a lot of uncertainties. And like I just said, life, I forgot what did I say, influence life, yes. So, it's not just me changing the life of my students. They are also changing and shaping who I am today. So, this is why do I think it is, why did I want to be an English teacher? So, I want to be a companion of them, so that I can watch them grow. And after they graduated, we can still have a long-lasting relationship, friendship. So we're not just a teacher, we're also a friend of them. So this would be my sharing. I think there is one more slide. Oh yes, some encouragement to you. If you think it is too long, or if you can't read English, there would be Chinese in the next slide. And the main point would be, I forgot where did I heard this quote, but you are what your students look like. So, for me, I think we as teacher would be a role model to our students. So, I do hope that you can influence your students' life and oh yes, and this is, have you watched Batman? I think there are ups and downs in our teaching life. But if you encounter any difficulties, I think I love, this is Alfred. I love him using British accent to say, "Endure, Master Wayne." So, when you have any difficulties, endure. Yeah, that should be all of my sharing. So, here comes to the Q&A section. So, thank you.
So thank you all for coming and for being interested in the education concentration. And thank you especially to the alumni who've come back today, given up their free time to speak to students. They were in your position just a few years ago, so it's really valuable for you to learn from them. Also, I'd like to echo Professor Her's thoughts about teaching and AI. We are still, human-to-human interaction is still the most important. And so I think if you are interested in pursuing a career in teaching, it's a very broad field. That is, don't forget, it's not just teaching your subject, but it could be teaching a language as well. And also don't forget that even in Hong Kong, we have a lot of different communities, not just Cantonese local-born students, but also non-Chinese speaking students, students from the mainland, students with special educational needs, and all of them need compassionate and thoughtful teachers. So there is a lot of opportunities. Also, I would say that as I have been a teacher for a long time, that teaching is a very flexible career. You can be a teacher in many different environments. You may be a teacher in different type of organizations, but also teaching is something that travels with you. So if you find yourself in the future not necessarily living in Hong Kong, you can still teach. You may teach subjects, Chinese language, you may teach history, you may teach English. It's something that you can always do. And once you've learned to teach, you continue to learn to teach, right? You learn a lot from the students. Every class is different. Every year is different, and if you're someone like me who gets bored really quickly, don't worry. Next semester or next year, you have a new set of students. So if you really hate the ones you've got now, don't worry, because there'll be new ones next time, and that's a real big advantage. Sorry, guys, if I'm teaching you this semester. Thank you, everybody, very much for coming.